from Cuppa TV. I'm a singer and I guess a closet songwriter. So music has an enormous impact on my mental health, and I suppose it has always done. I think when I was a kid, just listening to music, it was a huge part of growing up. My dad was a sound engineer, my mum was crazy about music and set up a folk club, and it was always in the house. We were always going to gigs, so it was always there. But I think, besides listening to music, just singing, always singing to myself, singing as I was playing, and I see my kids and other kids do the same thing, that it's a natural way to self-soothe. It's like your first companion. Your mother will sing to you if you're lucky, and then singing to yourself, kids naturally sing. It's like company when you're alone. And I think for every ritual in every culture, every society, music is such a central part to it. So it's a way to express feelings, whether they're joyful celebrations or mourning, whether it's funerals. We have music is central to all of that, and sometimes it allows us to sort of access those feelings that we're not even aware we have. So I suppose as I went through my teenage years and was very depressed, very anxious, not in a very happy place, and feeling outside of everything, feeling like I didn't fit in, and listening to all the music I listened to those days was it was life-saving, simply life-saving. I had Joni Mitchell and Radiohead and Billie Holiday and Leonard Cohen and all these singers singing my pain, singing my sorrows, singing what I was really feeling. And in a society that makes you feel like being an extrovert is the only option, all those singers made me feel like actually no, it's fairly normal to feel outside of things, to feel introverted, to feel pain. And I suppose in that way music just allows you to realize that there's more than one type of personality and way to be, and makes you feel a little less alone. And I think, having experienced depression for most of my life from childhood, and anxiety and panic attacks and various other things, one of the most tragic things about depression, say as an illness or whatever you want to call it, is how isolating it is. And even though what would help is to reach out and talk to someone, pick up the phone, go out and meet somebody, which would almost inevitably make you feel better, it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing just to get yourself out of bed or to even think about picking up the phone. So it's sort of self-perpetuating, because you're alone, you need to reach out, but that's the thing that's impossible to do. And so often what happens when people lose someone to suicide is they say, oh, I didn't even realize how bad they were, or they never said, or they seemed so happy, or and it's that isolating aspect of any kind of mental health issue is how it's so hard to actually communicate. And for me, music that's been the life-saving aspect of it, is that even when I can't talk to somebody, or I don't feel like somebody will understand, music is there. It's your best friend, it's your lover, it's your counselor, it's just pure therapy. And even if it's something sad that just allows you to cry and touch those feelings and feel like you're not the only person who's experienced that's enormous. Sometimes that's enough. The most beautiful creations are often coming from a place of deep sorrow, and that maybe we should sort of cherish that a little bit more, that there's a really important place for pain, because out of that breaking, that's where we have the space to grow, and ultimately get to know ourselves a little better. And I mean, who knows what the purpose of life is, but that seems to be an interesting way to look at it, as just a long journey of getting to know ourselves a little bit better. So yeah, that's sort of a roundabout way of how music affects my mental health. So, cheers.